Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's December 31st, 2024. Out here in the workshop and thought I'd make some more fire starters, which has not worked out that well so far today. So we give the fire starters to our tenant, Carol, who's a wonderful, beautiful person. We bought the new property from her a couple years ago, and she's been a tenant for the last couple of years since we bought it. She's been wonderful. So I showed her these fire starters when we after I first made them, and I said, use one or two, see how it gets started, because I started with using two of these small cotton rounds that are made for makeup, and so she was using two, and she had a hard time getting the fires going. Her husband, who has since passed away, was the one who really manned the wood stove for years, and so I've been over there I had to work on the wood stove and the furnace recently, and there's always things to work on when you're renting property and all. Something I don't enjoy, having an extra thing to do on our plate, but it's part of what we have to do. And so when I was over there just the other day, I brought in some firewood for her, and the door handle on the wood stove, a nut had come loose, so that needed to be tightened up so that the door would seal properly. And then she only had a few of these left, so she had been going through them quite a bit. I think she'd started a few fires a day, or at least a couple a day. But she'd gone through these, and I initially was using two of these to start a fire. Now I only use one. It's just set it and forget it. You know, if you stack your wood in there, okay. Get one of these right in between. So you lay a layer of wood down enough where there's a little bit of a gap, maybe an eighth to a quarter of an inch between a couple of the base ones, and then light one of these, and it takes a couple of seconds to get these actually lit. But once they're lit, they burn enough so that they can start the whole fire without any problems. And that works out pretty darn well. It's worked out perfectly for us. We haven't had a fire that didn't take off, because I just set it and then I close the door. I don't open any dampers or anything. We just have, with our Yodel stove, we just have one adjustment, and that's just the air inflow going into it. No damper on the chimney or the exhaust pipe coming out of the stove. And I just let it have a fair amount of air when we're first starting it, and that works out fantastic. And just do one a day if we have a fire a day, not every day. Yesterday we didn't have a fire. The day before we didn't have a fire. We've had a couple warm days, but our house is so insulated that we're really fortunate. We don't have to burn fires all the time. Even when it's super cold outside, we never have to have it running for 24 hours. So that works out well. So Carol came over this morning to pick up some more of these, so I thought, I better make up some more today, because she may run out. I know, I'm almost positive, unless we have a really bizarre winter, we're set for our fire starters for the rest of the winter and all. But these little cotton rounds, man, they take up so little place, so little space. So I put them in like a freezer bag, and I don't freeze them. It's just we save our freezer bags after we've taken our food out of the freezer, and we reuse them. But the ones that we aren't going to reuse again, I just go ahead and we store the bags, and then we can put these like, I don't know, thin little Oreo cookies. So they're almost like this, the way they come out of at the store. Not quite like that, a little bit thicker than that. So you can probably get about 75 in a bag. You just like stack coins going across, so that works out fine. And these just work just dandy. But when I went to do this, I moved the table, trying to get it so that the lighting wasn't bad for recording a video. And what did I do? I was already melting the wax in my little pot here, my little stir pot. And I picked up the table with a little pitcher of wax on it, heated wax here, and I spilled it all over the place. Genius that I am. Oh Lord, what can you do? Live and learn. It could have been much worse. So I probably wasted half a pound of wax. But that'll be okay. We'll get this project done. We'll be good for this winter. Yesterday, I posted a video on the Yukon workstation, like a little tool chest in a sense, that I bought from Harbor Freight. I bought two of them, bought a red one and a blue one. And then when I unboxed the red one, it had a big dent in it. Now there was a corresponding dent in the box and the cardboard, but a lot of the times they pack these so well, the cabinets are in good shape. And Home Depot is really good about returning them or replacing them. So after I've gotten the second one put together, I loaded up I used the green machine behind me here, and I loaded up the red one that was damaged, and it had some black ones there. So I went ahead and brought the red one back, did some paperwork there to get it exchanged, and that went well, and brought home a black one and got that one together. So pretty happy with that. I think they're going to be good. I'm setting the black one up today as a sharpening station. So I'll be doing my Tormex knife sharpener or blade sharpener on there. It can do a whole variety of blades and all. And I got a Oregon chainsaw blade sharpener. Yeah, this is just completely coated with wax. But that's okay. We will make things work out just fine here. Get enough of these going in case Carol runs out again. We're set for her. So a big goal of mine over the next 2 years is to get the workshop organized. Man, when we remodeled it, I don't know, a decade ago, everything got put in boxes and bins, and my work around here just never stops, no matter whether I'm building a building or doing repairs or working on equipment or digging ponds or digging trenches or transplanting trees or fixing things at the rental property, whatever it may be. Things just come in and get piled on top of the workbenches instead of getting put organized into each bench, because not each bench is designated for specific tasks. Like I need to have one that's just dedicated for my chainsaws, one that's just dedicated for, and that can be shared with the sharpening station. I turn the heat down on this some now that everything's melted real well. And yeah, then we had the bookstore too, which the whole second floor of the first part of the workshop here is just completely filled with books. Bins and bins and bins of books. A couple thousand books. But that has helped out with our financial situation. Helping that, along with the nursery, has helped to pay the bills and on all of the farm equipment, the heavy equipment and all that we have. And that's been helpful. Of course, during the winter months, the nursery doesn't do much. The bookstore, although I've slowed down some, has been a fairly steady amount of income. But it's a small amount of income. These are used books that we have, that we sell. But it definitely helps. But it also takes time out of your life. Is that 2 there? That is 2. It also takes a lot of time out of your life, and Thea wants to slow down quite a bit more than what I've been, I guess, leading our way with. I've always had someone who's had things planned of what to do next, but it is time to slow down here a bit. So maybe Thea and I will sit down soon and discuss how things went this past year on the farm, the homestead, all of our projects and all, and what we're looking forward to for 2025. For the GE washer dryer that we've made several videos about. Well, we've had it for just over a year now, and it's getting worse as far as taking longer to do the laundry and all. So we've contacted the, so we purchased it through Home Depot, and we bought their we went for their 5-year extended warranty, and Home Depot doesn't come out. They contract through Allstate Insurance. And Thea spent, I don't know, probably over an hour on the phone with them. They're just saying, well, according to this, you just have to clean it. And they're obviously not familiar with the extent that Thea goes through cleaning the machine every single use. And so, but that's getting old. The machine is still new, 1 year old, but it's getting old, the idea of having to keep doing the cleaning, the thorough cleaning, which takes 15 minutes every single load. And that is ridiculous. Just one more thing for Thea to have to do. And we have lots of laundry because we've got lots of cats, and then there's me out here always getting pretty darn dirty. So this doesn't take too long, making these little wax fire starters here, paraffin. We just use the, and I already made a full video on this whole process, step by step. So I usually use 1 pound of paraffin wax, or you could use old candles. Many people just use old candles. And that 1 pound of paraffin wax with, I don't know, maybe an ounce of the paraffin lamp oil, which makes these burn a little bit hotter, but reportedly they can make the, I'm going to turn this off now, can make the paraffin units, and I'm using these cotton rounds, make them more flexible, so they're sticky, less rigid, more more likely to stick together, I guess, is the thing that people complain about. But anyways, I really like these fire starters. This is so much better than buying those things at the store. And I don't need to have kindling, although I do save all the little pieces of all this. Is that one or two? No, it's one. I save all the little pieces when I'm wood splitting, and that in a sense is a lot like kindling in a sense, because I'll lay a couple of logs on the base where I'm going to start the fire, then lay one of these on top of it, like I mentioned, with a little tiny air gap, so that air can feed the flame from below. And then I put a couple of those pieces, if I've got some small pieces of a material that was left over, right at the bottom of this now. Take this off now. Turn this off. So yeah, I just take a couple of the small pieces of scrap or bark that the wood splitter had, little chunks of it, and I always store those in the IBC tote. And I'll take one or two of those small pieces, if I've got them there, in a bucket, and I'll set it right next to this small little cotton swab, and then just pile the rest of the wood on top of it, close the door, come back in a few hours, add some more wood to the fire, and that's it. No hassle. I really like that a lot. So I think that's about it. I just thought I'd chat with you for a few seconds here, a few minutes, I guess, while I'm doing the fire starter. So that's it for today's video, folks. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And I will try to put across the link to me making these. And I did put it on small pieces of wood as well at the same time. Don't bother doing that. You don't need that. Just these simple cotton rounds. These cotton rounds, are what they're called, are enough. So if you go back to that video and watch how I did it, it's just like what I'm doing it here today. Super simple and easy. Just take a little bit of time to do it, and then you'll be set for your winter. And I think it's pretty dirt cheap after you make the first investment for a little heating apparatus, and try not to spill it like I did. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and take care. And bye-bye for now.